Good morning everyone. Your examination is coming on and I know that you all are having trouble in mathematics, and because of that thing I am going to give you this is our first video class. So because of your examination, hope these videos are going to help you. So students, sharing is caring. We all have learned that, but whenever it comes with a chocolate, we always have a problem to share with this thing. So students, you know sometimes that whenever we are sharing something, our things to someone else, there is a lot of mathematics is been present. So without wasting our time, let's begin with the session with you all. So students, now I am taking you in a situation. Okay, the situation is what? That suppose you and your 3 friends going to someone's birthday party. Okay, so in that birthday parties, we all know that our friend, whoever birthday is there, he is going to give us chocolates. So suppose he had 10 chocolates. How many chocolates? 10 chocolates to give you. But unfortunately what happened, that he had eaten 9 of them. So how many chocolates he was left with? Only 1 chocolate he was left with to give you all. So now I know that there is a bad situation for you all, that you have only 1 chocolate, and how many friends are there? Including you, there were 4 of them. Now in this situation, you have only 1 chocolate to divide them into 4 equal parts. So suppose I am taking you, suppose this is the chocolate, okay? This one is the chocolate. Can you see? Suppose this is a chocolate, and how many friends are there? You all have 4 friends. 1, 2, 3, and how many? 4. So there is only 1 chocolate, and you all are having how many friends? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the thing is that if you are the leader to divide the chocolate among you all, so others will 100% see that whether you are cheating or not. That is the most special thing. So the thing is that we have to divide our chocolate into equal parts. Okay, so first of all, you will give 1 part to him, 1 part to him, 1 part to him, and 1 part to him. So what you did exactly? Haven't you did that you have 1 complete chocolate, and how many parts, how many friends you have given? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means among your 4 friends, you have distributed 1 chocolate. So I think you have got the idea that the chocolate situations is totally converted into a mathematical form. So whenever we are writing a situation like this in this way, or a number in this way, this is known as what? A fraction. What is this thing now? Fraction. So in this fraction, what we have, so I think you have got the idea that what lesson we are going to study today. We are going to start the chapter fraction. So students, we have known that what lesson we are going to start, the chapter fraction. So let's begin with the definition of fraction, that what is a fraction. So students, you can open up your copies and write the definition of it. So first of all, we are going to write the definition of fraction. So what is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole. Write this. A fraction is a part of a whole. A fraction is a part of a whole. That means what? That the situation, do you remember that I have gave you that there were 1 chocolates only, and we have distributed that chocolates equally among our 4 friends. So that means, suppose let's take an example above it. Example is what? 1 by 4. This was the situation we have got in that time. No? So in this example, 1 by 4, there were many fractions. I can give you 2 by 3, 5 by 9, 6 by 7. There are many examples you can give it here. So suppose first one, 1 by 4. This one I am writing it here. Okay. So you can see there were two parts that you can see. One upper part, that is the complete one, and the lower part. The lower part is the number that we have divided the upper one. Exactly, that means what? We have only one chocolate, so this was 1 in the upper part. Okay. In the lower part is what? That we have divided the one chocolate into how many parts? 4 parts. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you see 1 by 4 is there, isn't it? So upper part, you always keep in mind that upper part is known as numerator. What is it known? Numerator. A fraction's upper part is always known as numerator, and the fraction's lower part is always known as denominator. Denominator. So students, what we have got here, the upper part will be always known as numerator and the lower part will be always known as denominator. And what this line symbolizes, you can say simply it's a dividing bar. Okay, what is this one? A dividing bar. That means what? We have divided a one, that means a complete part, into how many parts? 4 equal parts. So I am repeating this one again. What is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole, and 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 5 by 9, 6 by 7 and many other fractions you can give. These are the examples. And upper part will be always known as numerator and the lower part will be always known as denominator. Okay. So now I will take you to the types of the fractions. Okay. So let's begin with that. So first types that I am going to give you, that proper fraction. What is that? Proper fractions. Okay, so students, our first type is known as what? Proper fraction. So what is a proper fraction? So there I have already told you that fractions have many types. So it is one of types of fraction. So in proper fraction, what happens? That the numerator is always lesser than the denominator. What I said you? Just keep in mind that numerator will be always lesser than the denominator. I am writing here my example. Suppose 1 by 4. 1 by 4 is a proper fraction. Why it is a proper fraction? Because you see the numerator is how much? 1 and the denominator is how much? 4. So whenever a numerator is lesser than the denominator, it will be known as what? A proper fraction. I can give you more examples. Suppose like 2 by 9, 3 by 1000, 5 by 1000. So these many ways you can write it here. So in proper fraction, what we have got, that the numerator is always smaller and the denominator is always bigger. You have to keep in mind. Okay. So if you want to write the definition of proper fraction, you can write that a fraction in which numerator is lesser than the denominator. That type of fractions will be known as what? Proper fraction. So I think you have got the idea of proper fraction. Now we are going to our next types, that is known as what? Improper fraction. Improper fraction. So unlike the proper one, what happens in improper fraction? What we have seen in proper one, that the numerator is greater and denominator is numerator is smaller and denominator is greater. But in improper fraction, what will happen? The numerator will be greater and the denominator will be always smaller. Suppose like 4 by 3 is an example of improper fraction. Why it is an improper fraction? Unlike the proper one, you see here the numerator was smaller and the denominator was greater. But in improper fraction, what happened? That the numerator is greater and the denominator is smaller. Okay, so if you want to write the definition of improper fraction, just write that a fraction in which numerator is always greater than the denominator will be known as improper fraction. So students, I think you have got the idea of improper fraction also. Now we are going to the next type of fraction, that is known as what? Like fractions. What are those ones? Like fractions. Just keep in mind that a like fractions, two or more fractions, if they have the same denominator. Okay, you have to keep in mind this thing, very important, that the like fractions have always same denominators. Suppose like I am giving you examples: 3 by 9, 5 by 9, 6 by 9, 7 by 9. These all are in the category of like fractions. Why? The reason is why that what is the reason behind it that I have said that it is a like fraction? The reason behind that, you see that there is a similarity in between all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. In all of them, the denominators are always same. Here the numerators can be changed. Don't think that numerators cannot be changed. Numerator can be changed, but the denominator should be same. It is the most important thing for having a like fraction. Okay, so I think you have got the idea of like fraction. I am repeating this one again for you all, that like fraction, two or more fractions, if they have the common denominator, they will be known as what? Like fractions. Okay, the next thing, the next type of fraction, that is what? Unlike fraction. Unlike fraction. So I think you have got the idea by the name only, that unlike the like one, here the denominators are same in like fractions, but in unlike fractions what will happen? The denominators will not be same. Simply, if two or more fractions, if they don't have the denominator same, they will be considered as what? Unlike fractions. Suppose 5 by 7, 6 by 4, 5 by 13. You can see here that are the denominators same here? Here is 7, here is 4, here is 13. No, that means 5 by 7, 6 by 4, 5 by 13. These three fractions are unlike fractions. So I think you have got the idea of unlike fractions. Now we are going to the next part of fraction. You have to keep in mind this thing. Okay, I am going to rub this one. Okay, so next type of fraction is what? A unit fraction. I think this is not in your book, but still you have to know about it. Unit fraction. So what is a unit fraction? It's not a very big deal to understand this. If fractions, many fractions are there, suppose, if they have numerator as 1, so they will be known as what? Unit fractions. What I said you? Suppose 1 by 3, 1 by 5, 1 by 7, 1 by 13. So they all are unit fractions. Why they are unit fractions? Because they have 1 in their numerator. All of them will be unit fractions. Okay, I think you have got the idea of what? Unit fractions. Now the next part, the next type of fraction that is very, very important, and sometimes you get confused with this thing. You have to keep in mind to understand this thing very nicely. Okay, the next part of fraction is mixed fraction. This is very important, students. Okay, mixed fraction. So what is a mixed fraction? Okay, so I am going to write this one because sometimes you may get confused for this. A mixed fraction is a sum of, first of all just write the definition of it. A mixed fraction is a sum of a natural number and a proper fraction. So students, don't be panic about it that you have got one or two more extra terms that you haven't heard, but still I am going to say you, just try to understand. Okay, what I said you, a mixed fraction is a sum of a natural number and a proper fraction. Okay, so what is a natural number? First of all, we have to know about it, no? That what is a natural number? So you know that many numbers are there in the world. Okay, but all of the numbers you have sometimes you can see that minus, negative numbers also there, -2, -3. This type of numbers you have also seen. Maybe you haven't got to study about it, but still you have seen sometimes. Some types of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 0, this type of numbers you have seen. So many numbers are there in the world. Okay, so to get learn it nicely, to get studied nicely, what mathematicians have divided, they have divided the numbers for better experience. Okay, for better experience of learning. So what is the thing? If the number is starting with 1, okay, natural number always starts with 1 and it always goes towards positive infinity. Positive numbers, okay, all the positive numbers starting from 1, they are known as what? A natural number. Okay, suppose I'm giving you 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the numbers are, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till the end they will goes on. So if these all the numbers are actually natural number. But if I am going to then you will be sometimes get confused that, sir, which are not a natural number? Tell me the numbers that are not natural. So I am going to say that one also, that 0. 0 is not a natural number. We also have come across the numbers like negative numbers, -1, -2, -3. These numbers are all not natural numbers. But numbers starting from 1 and going towards positive infinity, all the positive numbers, they will be known as what? Natural number. Okay, so students, I think you have got the idea of what is a natural number, and I am going to read the definition once again. Okay, just kindly see it. Mixed fraction. A mixed fraction is a sum of a natural number and a proper fraction. So natural number I have explained. Now what is a proper fraction? I have also explained. I am saying this one again, that a proper fraction is that fraction whose numerator is always smaller and the denominator is always greater. What I have said you, that numerator will be always lesser than the denominator. Okay, so still I am going to give some of the examples. Okay, I think this is going to help you. Examples, have you seen this type of numbers like 2 1/3, 5 1/6, 3 3/9. So these type of fractions are always known as what? Mixed fraction. Okay, so suppose I am taking under consideration one number 2 1/2. I am taking this number, I am showing this number to you practically. Okay, so I think at that instance it will be more clear. Suppose your mother gave you 2 breads to eat. How many breads? 2 complete breads. So suppose this is the one bread and this is another one. 2 breads, these are all complete. You have eaten that, but the vegetable was very delicious, and because of that you want to eat half more bread. Okay, so what your mother did, that she has given you half more. So if someone will ask you that how many breads you have eaten, so you will say that I have eaten 2 complete breads and half bread extra. So how you are going to show it mathematically? You just see there were how many complete breads? 2 breads, no? So we are going to write 2 breads, and this one what? This one half. So how I have said you to write, suppose this was 1 complete bread, we have divided into 2 parts. So one part we have eaten only, so it will be known as 1/2. So this is exactly 1/2. So isn't it the mathematical form of this one? 2 breads we have eaten and 1/2 extra part was there, so 2 1/2. So I think you have got the idea of mixed fraction also. So from the next class, we are going to start our exercise. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so students, as we have done our introduction part, now we are going to start our first exercise. Open up exercise 4A, page number 73. Okay, so open up the exercise and write this one in your copy. So here you see what is our first question. Our first question is that express the following. Express the following improper fractions as mixed fractions. Okay, so here you can see express the following improper fraction as mixed fractions. I am writing taking any question. Okay, first of all we are doing number A. Just copy that. number A is what? 19 divided by 3. So you see here, express the following improper fraction as mixed fractions. You see here, 19 by 3 is an improper fraction. No? What I said you in improper fraction, that any fractions whose numerator is greater than the denominator will be known as what? Improper fractions. So whatever is written in the question, it is correct, that 19 by 3 is an improper fraction. Now what we have to do, we have to convert this fraction, improper fraction, into mixed fraction. So don't be panic about it, this is very easy. Now we are just going to do about it. Okay, so first of all, how we will do? Write their solution. 19 divided by 3 is there. You don't have to do anything extra, just divide that number. Okay, 3 is there, no? Just divide this. 19 divided by 3. Divide it. We all have learned about division, how to do it. So start the table of 3. So I think 3 6 18 is there. So it will be 3 6 18. So now we have to subtract 9. 9 minus 8 is 1, and this will be done. So you just have to do that. Keep in mind QRD. What we have to do? QRD. Now you will be sometimes confused that what is QRD. Q4, QR and D, no? So what is Q stands for? So we all have known Q for quotient. QUOTIENT, quotient. This R for remainder. Remainder. If any remainder is there, you have to write in that place remainder. And D for what? Divisor. Divisor. You see here. So Q for quotient, R for remainder, and D for divisor. You see here how we have to convert it. Here you can see this one is quotient, this one is remainder, and this one is what? Divisor, and this one is what? Dividend. We all know about it, but we don't have to work anything about dividend. What you have to write only that QRD. So you, for one time I am writing it here QRD. So what is Q here? Q is quotient. Quotient is how much? 6. So you have to write here 6. Remainder is how much? 1. So write here 1. And divisor is how much? 3. So you have to write it 3. So isn't it very simple? Okay, I am just going to write this one, saying this one again. You see, 19 divided by 3 was an improper fraction. We have to convert it into what? Mixed fraction. If I am too fast, just tell me. Okay, I am just taking it little bit slow. So again, what I am doing, you don't have to do anything extra. Just divide that number. 19 was the dividend here. So I have written 19 here. Now 3 is here. So 3 6 18 I have got. 9 minus 8, 1 is there. So here you can see in the division, we can see easily that 6 is quotient, 1 is the remainder, and 3 is the divisor. And I say you that whenever you are converting an improper fraction into mixed fraction, just remember QRD. What is that? QRD. So Q is here, R is upon that, and divisor in the lower side. So quotient was how much? 6. I have written 6. Remainder is what? 1. So I have written 1 here, and this divisor is 3. So divisor was here 3, and I have written that. So I think you have copied that thing. So one more question that we are doing. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. Okay. So students, we have done number 8. Now we are going to do which one you can do. Number E is there, no? So we have written E here. You see, E is what? 66 by 8. Now what about B, C and D? So this is your home assignment. You can do it by your own. Hope you will be able to do. If any doubt is there, you can ask me. Okay. So one more question I am doing for your convenience. 66 by 8 is there. This is again in improper fraction, as the upper part, that means the numerator is is greater than the denominator. So it is an improper fraction. Now what we have to do? We just have to convert it into what? The mixed fraction. Okay. So again what we have to do? Just keep in mind that number, the formula that I have said, QRD. That means we have to divide it simply. Just divide it. Write the solution. It is what? 66 and divided by 8. So just divide it. Count the table of 8, and you see how you will be able to divide. So I think we will get 8 is 64, isn't it? So 8 is 64. Just we have subtracted 6 minus 4 is 2, and 6 minus 6 is 0, or I can give cut simply. So what I have got here, 8 is the divisor, this 8 is the quotient, and this 2 is the remainder. So you see, I have given QRD. So write in that form. Q is quotient, so 8 is the quotient. I have written it here. Now R is the remainder, so 2 is the remainder here, and this divisor was 8, so I have written here 8. So this was already in improper fraction, and now it has converted into mixed fraction. I think you have got the idea of question number 1, how to do it. So hope this will help you number 1. In the next part that we are going to start question number 2. So copy this question nicely, okay? So students, as we have done number 1, now we are going to start number 2. So you see the question kindly. Express the following mixed number as improper fractions. Now it was the reverse of earlier one. Earlier one, what was there? The question was in improper fraction and we have to convert it to the mixed fraction. Now it is already given in mixed fraction and we have to convert it into what? The improper fraction. It is very simple as question number 1. Okay, if you can't get, you just ask me. What we are going to do here, just write the solution. You will do, just think this one, that you have to multiply 4 and 3. Whatever number is there, no? 4 and 3 multiply. 4 into 3, add the upper one. The 1, okay. So just write the lower one here, 3. So how much? 4 3 are 12 plus 1 divided by 3. What I have got? 13 by 3. So isn't it in the improper fraction? So what we have did, we have just multiplied these two values. The proper one's denominator 1 and this natural number 4 into 3 and plus 1. So 4 into 3 plus 1 divided by the proper fraction's lower number 3. Okay, so what we have got according to Bodmer's rule, what we are going to do first, we will do the multiplication part first. So 4 3s are 12 plus 1 divided by 3. So 12 plus 1 is 13 divided by 3. Okay. Now can I go to the next question? Number E I have written. Whatever the question is left for is, it is for your home assignment. Try it. If you will not be able to do, again ask me. Okay. So again you see here. Here again I will do the same question. 9 into 8. Whatever product we will get, just add that number with 2. So 9 into 8 plus 2 divided by what? 8. You see here. So 9 8 is how much? 9 8 is 72. So 72 plus 2 divided by 8. So what we have got? 72 plus 2 is equal to 74 divided by 8. So you see, this one is already completed into what? Again the improper one. So I think we have got the idea that how we are going to convert a mixed number into improper fraction. I am saying this one again. Kindly see that you do have, it's very simple. You just have to multiply these two values. 4 into 3 again plus 1. 4 into 3 plus 1 divided by what? 3. So 13 by 3 we have got. Again you see here 9 into 8 is 72 plus 2 divided by 8, 74 divided by 8 we have got. So this is very simple. Now we are going to do question number 3 4.